perfect against teams in the bubble, which is where I would put AllMid, but they're also, it's not just 3v3. So Oxygen can win the 3v3, but then where do AllMid go? I think AllMid immediately go to the 1v1, put Chronic in, and force Oxygen to have to beat you in 1s and 2s as much as you can. You don't want 3v3. You only want to have to play 3v3 one. Oxygen, I think you can be quite confident in your 2v2 ability.
Gamers Without Borders, one of the most important matches of the day, right here. Winner goes to it. I don't know if this has really settled in with these players, but winners going to top 4, they will qualify for the LAN in the summer. As Toasty got the demo, Gimmick couldn't steer that on target. We are off and running with Angel, Flitz, and Kiri, the chosen 3, the usual 3 for AllMid. Gimmick almost got that one to go, as Oxygen does have to play back-to-back coming off that 4-game loss, so they didn't have much time to think about their decision-making from that last series, and now they go right back at it. Both teams coming off... What's that?
So it's just how most teams want it. You don't want to be sitting thinking about your last match for so long. You'd rather.
It's kind of a misconception too with teams, right, George? Like, we hear all the time, maybe they don't want to play back-to-back after a loss, but no, I mean, this is a team that's warmed up now.
Yeah, I don't know many teams that wouldn't just want to play all of their matches in a row, even if they had like 7. I'm sure they'd just back-to-back. Maybe a quick 5-minute break, in between one of them, but not any longer than that. I mean, all of these guys play Rocket League for way more hours in the day than you might think they do. I know a lot of people love to use Steam hours and love to get that so sacred 100 over 2 weeks. And some of these players really do put in that kind of time. I don't think a lot of players put in that much, but the ones that do, you do start to see that pay off for them. But I don't think these players get tired nearly as easily as you might think.
This, of course, our week of North American action. Europe takes center stage next week on Tuesday and Wednesday. This is intercepted by Flitz, and Toasty will just leave that for LJ to take over. And I don't know if LJ was necessarily ready for that ball. Kiri can't stay with it. And then Flitz got a piece of LJ. That's a good improv move by LJ. May lead to a scoring opportunity. Gimmick waiting for Kiri's touch, and Kiri's beaten both Gimmick and Toasty. Gimmick was a spectator for maybe a little too long, but he gets back and makes the stop.
Oh, Flitz almost made that read against LJ. It's not going to end up mattering as Angel was able to move the ball downfield. Really like how AllMid's moving the ball around the pitch right now. Oxygen having a tough time breaking out. You talked about that Kiri push where he beat 2 defenders. Kiri, there's another good 50 as well. He's not even done. He's still got 45. He can play that, but just a little too slow. You saw Flitz and Angel were happy to let Kiri play that for as long as possible, but they've just let the ball out, and LJ puts it in.
LJ was absolutely phenomenal for Oxygen in their previous series. He had all 4 goals in games that were not 1v1s for Oxygen. And he's got another here. We continue on. Gimmick winning that through right at Kiri. And Toasty to intercept. Kiri won the challenge. Angel's shot's gonna be a little bit wide. Gimmick didn't take any bait. And he will wait there on the goal line for a shot that's almost coming in. But Angel and Kiri ran into each other. And now an opportunity for LJ to punish them for it. And he almost did.
Someone's got to say something in that situation. That was a perfect pass over to Kiri. Angel's just got to get out of the way. Someone's got to speak up. Get those lips, get those lips moving.
Yeah, we got voice chat in the game now. No excuse.
There is none.
Trying to get around Angel, as long as nobody's casting in the voice comms.
Maybe they did comms, and then it was just, oh, I bumped into you anyway. That's happened 1,000 times.
Oops, my bad. Gimmick. Oh, what a win against Kiri, but Angel with the stop. LJ trying to bring one over, and Kiri just emphatically swats that ball away. Tell you what, though, AllMid have been under immense pressure from Oxygen almost from the get-go. They've had chances to get downfield. Actually, a couple of really good infield passes, a couple really good shots, but one missed opportunity has kind of put a dark cloud over this game, and AllMid has to try and answer back now and get another grade A opportunity against an Oxygen team that has a chokehold on this game, but they couldn't score right on the doorstep, and now that window's open for him, Jorby.
What's on the wing? Angel couldn't get enough power on it either. But you're absolutely right. AllMid have looked pretty good at times. They just couldn't hang on to that ball. I mean, Oxygen just got out of a long stint on the blue half. You saw AllMid not able to control the boost. They were working on low, about 30 or lower for a good while before Angel was finally able to pick up a corner boost way earlier and get them out. And look, they're still playing defense, and they can't stop LJ, who puts in his second.
The hits just keep on coming for LJ. The hardest of hard carries right now for Oxygen. 6 goals in non-1v1s over the last couple of series. And you start to wonder, well, if he's the only one who's going to put the ball in the net, maybe you go with him when the 1v1 arises. You talked about going to the hot hand, Jorby, even though it may not be his forte.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I still think you kind of go with Gimmick. I know Gimmick just got absolutely destroyed by Raze Bull, but I don't know.
Oh, Toasty!
Woo!
What is this?
This was kind of dirty from Toasty. Underneath on the Dominus, a double flip reset. Toasty, please!
Oh, boy.
Where's the red flag?
Exclamation point.
Where's the red? Put him in the penalty box. That's illegal.
It'd be a little consolation at this point as we play out the final 8 seconds as nothing more than a formality. The 3v3 this time belongs to Oxygen, and the ball now goes to AllMid's court, and I think, Jorby, you and I both know.
Oh, it's 1v1.
It has to be a 1v1 with Chronic.
Absolutely. Get Chronic in there.
Yeah.
And
I don't think the game ended before we were told, oh yeah, by the way, one.
Well, I mean, here, look, credit to AllMid. I thought that they looked pretty decent for the majority of that game. The wheels didn't fall off the wagon really until that final minute. Really, in the last 30 seconds, as we see here, and it's a nice pass from Toasty. Can we just see that last highlight one more time?
Yep, there it is.
Thank you. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, right into your net. Oh, man. Look, as soon as Oski hits a double reset in the RLCS 2 weeks ago, I watched everyone in NA try to do the same thing. No one was successful, by the way. And now we get to this tournament, and Toasty's like, yeah, I can hit it here in the Dominus. Who said Dominus was old hat, archaic? Nah. Nice job, Toasty.
Sounds like you.
Me? No, I'd never say a car was overrated.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Toasty be better in the Octane.
Don't worry. Achieves will be after you very, very soon.
No, Achieves would agree. Achieves agrees with me. He knows that Dominus is a dying breed, and that he will be the last remaining one left. When all the Dominus mains are gone, you know, it's like if Dominus had 1 million fans, Achieves is one of them. If they have 10 fans, he's one of them. If they have no fans, then Achieves is no longer playing Rocket League. But I don't think that's ever going to happen. He's always going to be playing Dominus. But Chronic versus Gimmick, Oxygen are going to go with Gimmick. And I see what you're saying with LJ and the hot hand stacks, but when you're up against Chronic, who's got so much 1v1 experience, he is one of the best ones players in North America at the moment, and he's going to be really hard to beat. He's got a lot of tools in his arsenal, extremely mechanical, and he's also got the smarts to boot. Chronic is going to be a difficult out for Gimmick, and I think one thing that Gimmick struggled with as he is off the Fennec into the Octane, well, it's not going to matter because a simple flick is all he needs to get by Chronic, and that's a good start for Gimmick.
Yeah, Gimmick's first lead in 1v1 action in a while, getting around Chronic here after he fell victim to Raze Bull. For those of you just joining us, it is a much simpler format than it may look like. It may look very intimidating, but we start with 3v3. The loser of each game chooses what we play, 3v3, 1v1, or 2v2. You can have an extra player on there as a 1v1 specialist, sub them in whenever you feel like in between games. The only guarantee is we need to play 1s, 2s, and 3s somewhere in the first 3 as Chronic's got the double, and then you just can't play the same format back-to-back. So we know we have 2s coming up as soon as these 2 are done putting on an air show for us.
Oh, Chronic just puts a straight speed off that launch on the side wall. Gimmick thought that he was going to at least get a 50 out of it, but Chronic held down that boost button. Now he wins the kickoff. That surely should be a goal. It will be. Excellent job by Chronic here on the kickoff. and getting 2 quick goals. You see him not dodge into the ball, just 1 dodge, so he lands, and he's able to recover quickly. And those are the kind of mix-ups you're going to see from Chronic on the kickoff.
50 seconds have gone by. We've got 3 goals between these 2 stars. Make it 4. Chronic just in there where Gimmick couldn't catch up in a 3-1 lead.
It's again on the kickoff. This time drives through it on this one, and he's perfect off the side wall. And the placement as well. Gimmick does well enough to get back and cover a lot of the net, but it's that placement from Chronic that really puts the dagger in that push.
Anywhere else, Gimmick at least kicks that ball out. Not the case here. Now Chronic going to work. You let this man get going, and it is a long, long game. Chronic, I don't imagine he's going to turn around and score on this, but Gimmick still has to at least worry about it. And for Gimmick, I mean, just really up against it. And it's kind of a tough burden to bear, right? You know, being the 1v1 specialist on your squad as that one just misses high and wide. Then Chronic's got the follow-up. Gimmick just didn't have a play there. But we've seen how important this role is in this format over the last few years, Jorby. I mean, we've seen events like this. You remember when G2 brought in Mile, and everybody's like, who's Mile? And now everybody's like, are we gonna see Mile again?
It makes it exciting because you do get to see players that you're not used to seeing.
Exactly.
Chronic on that last push, I mean, like that was a really solid work. Even when Gimmick was on offense, Chronic protects his own boost. And look at this, even right here. Forget what Chronic did last time, even though that was impressive, because this is also really good work from Chronic. Waits for Gimmick to come down. Gimmick doesn't get the touch, and Chronic flipping into the ball, knows Gimmick is not going to be able to respond quickly. He knows Gimmick doesn't have any boost left. Otherwise, that push off the air would have been a lot stronger. Gimmick never lost control of the ball. Chronic stays right with it, and he's losing the kickoff battle. He's losing the boost battle. He's losing the control, and that's why it's 5-1 right now. In fact, it was almost 6-1, but Gimmick might have a chance to break back into the game here. Perfect touch. Chronic's not getting to that, and Gimmick's right back into it.
And definitely right back into it. 3-goal deficit, still 3 minutes to go. Even in threes, you're going, hey, this is far from over. In ones, it can turn around in an instant. Both these players could have at least 5 goals left in the chamber. 3:03, straightaway kickoff for both of them. And it's gonna go on to Chronic's half, but he's gonna have a full tank of boost. Gimmick, not gonna find much boost to work with. I think he's gotta peel off here sooner rather than later, and he's gonna have a tough time finding boost in time to stop Chronic, who dances through and then goes right by him.
And that's what happens when you have to give up the play. You're leaving, you're hoping that midfield boost spawn. It doesn't. Now you're gonna go to the corner, and you've already lost. It is so hard to come out of that corner full speed and get the 50 exactly as you want it. And I think if Gimmick does, it looked like he kind of flipped to the side a bit, or no, he just kind of moved to the side a little bit before he took that challenge, and Chronic slipped right next to him to get that goal. It's tough to say because Gimmick going for that midfield boost, he didn't have anything. He knew he had to hurry up and get back. But then as soon as nothing spawns, he can't turn infield. And it's just giving Chronic so much space. It's going to be hard to react on defense when you're not trying to take the charge on defense in 1v1. It's always going to be hard to react to a player like Chronic.
And it's got to be so frustrating too. Of course, we see all the boosts, as do you at home or wherever you may be watching. You know, Gimmick watches his boost go all the way down to 0, and he just knows, just out the corner of his eye, oh yeah, Chronic just went and got another 80, and here we are again. As Gimmick trying to go underneath Chronic this time. That's just a great stop by Chronic. The Great Wall makes it 7-2.
Oh, he's stacking up octanes and just slips right under Gimmick. Chronic followed it perfectly, even expended his boost to do it. But it's that little jump that prevents the ball from skipping right up over his octane. He lands with the ball as Gimmick is making contact with it. That allows him to kill the ball, all of its momentum, and slip out scot-free for his 7th goal. And does he have an 8th underneath him? 2 resets. He saw Toasty earlier and said, can I do it? Nah. It's a little too much on that one, Chronic, but he's feeling pretty comfortable right now.
And how about the confidence there, Chronic, knowing he could just go for boost. Gimmick was never going to turn this around for a shot. Now he's got Gimmick under all sorts of pressure. And Chronic thought about turning. He'll just take the midfield boost, and it's just, he's got all the control right now. Gimmick trying to get back within 4. And Chronic trying to shove him off the minute 20 to go. And Chronic just, I don't think he feels any pressure whatsoever right now. He is a stone cold killer, and he just feels like he is in complete charge.
Nice guy to have in the garage,
this
isn't
series. Oh, and he stopped that too. Yeah, this is wild.
You got coming all fresh onto the pitch. I think it's going to be difficult, though, for AllMid, because you start thinking about the rest of the series now. We have to go to 2v2. We already did 3v3 and 1v1. So for game 3, we have to do 2v2 before we start picking from team losers. And Chronic saves it again. Poor Gimmick. Just can't really get anything going against him. So for 2v2, I mean, you got Toasty and LJ that are going to come up stacks.
I like that combo.
It's a very strong combo so far. The question for me for AllMid is, I mean, who do you pick here? You got to put Chronic on the field for them, don't you?
I would imagine, yeah, they did it in the past, which was a little surprising, but it worked out. Gimmick will score here, at least to make it a little interesting. 4 goals, 19 seconds. I've seen strange things, but this would be a miraculous effort, to say the least.
I think Kiri Chronic is probably... It was Kiri who played with Chronic last time, right? Or was it... I got that wrong. I need to pull it up. I forget who it was last time, but that seems like it'd be a pretty strong duo.
Well, the question is it a stronger duo than LJ and Toasty? And I'll tell you what, I'm not so sure it is. And if it isn't, that puts Oxygen in the driver's seat. This series tied right now after Chronic dominates in the 1v1. A stretch of 5 unanswered goals, similar to what we saw out of Raise Bull. This time just a 4-goal victory. And now we go to 2s. We know LJ's coming back. We know Toasty will be back in a moment. And we will see who takes the field for AllMid in this all-important tie-breaking match. I'd have to imagine
Might be Flitz.
The winner here. Yeah, I'd have to imagine the winner here, Jorby, probably takes the series because they get the choice. They can't lose the series at that point without choosing what they finish on, and I think that's incredibly important.
I totally agree, because I think AllMid quite clearly have the advantage in 1v1. So if they can somehow sneak out the 2v2 victory here against Toasty and LJ, then Oxygen are going to pick 3v3. And if Oxygen win that 3v3, it's an easy Game 5 closer pick for AllMid. And so I absolutely agree with you. Game 3 literally is going to decide this series. Whoever wins this is going to be in a pristine spot to win that game number 5. Because if Oxygen win this game, then it will be AllMid picking that 1v1 for Game 4. That Game 5 will likely be a 3v3. I could even see them doing a 2v2 depending on how Game 3 goes, Stacks.
Well, we will see how that third game goes. We are underway with Chronic and Flitz taking the field. So they bring in Chronic to be their 1v1 specialist. And then he plays more than anybody else, it feels like, as Toasty will catch this out of the corner.
That's the beauty of this format.
3v3 starters just chilling on the bench as Chronic takes over, and his randoms teammates are going to be going, well, darn, this sucks. This goes out to the wing for LJ, and that's going to be Chronic and AllMid to take over.
Chronic. Definitely on that catch. Toasty might have had the breakaway here, but Flitz able to swing the ball out away from him. LJ now having to wait. Nice catch by Flitz. Wanted to give Chronic a chance at it. He didn't want to commit. You can understand, Flitz, not a lot of boost. That 50 goes the wrong way for Chronic. Maybe that ball skips out past Flitz. He's certainly going to have a limited option of what he can do with the ball, but now with a full tank, he's got the reset, holds on to it, forced the 50 back to Chronic. That's too light of a shot, but a good start here for AllMid.
So Flitz racing down to make sure he grabbed that corner boost and got a piece of the ball. This goes right back towards LJ, and we'll wait for somebody to blink. Just that little hesitation to open things up. Flitz with a great read coming off the backboard. And Flitz will have Chronic looking for the demo. LJ evades him, makes save. Back and forth we go. Nobody is giving an inch.
It's a good challenge by Toasty, but he's got no boost. It's gonna be LJ who collects his mid. Now has to defend against Chronic. The tough job, and he can't do it. I thought maybe LJ, the better idea here is to challenge that ball, but he decides to go for the boost instead. Chronic doesn't even leave the ground before he pulls this flick out, and it's just too much power. LJ can't save it. I really think he should have challenged that ball in midfield. Chronic would have had a tougher time hanging on to that ball. Instead, he gave Chronic the space, and Chronic punished him for it.
AllMid might have an interesting decision to make as we continue on in this bracket if Chronic keeps doing this. I mean, I understand 3v3 is a very, very different format. He is the only person who scored for them so far. Flitz got the save there, point blank against Toasty, and there is Chronic to try and lead them past LJ. He's got one challenge, he won't have the other. There's Toasty's shot, Flitz will have it off to the corner, and it's game on now for Oxygen. LJ, dance around Flitz. 2v1, if Chronic can't get the stop, he can't, but Flitz does, with Toasty just left waiting at the altar.
Yeah, LJ's got a lot of good ideas, but the defense has been strong, and it's just falling apart. Toasty got the game-tying goal. Breath of relief for Oxygen.
LJ clears out Flitz. I think he hit him twice on the way through, and that put Chronic in a nearly impossible spot. He overturned LJ, and Toasty tie things up at the halfway mark. It's just good to see somebody other than LJ getting the scoring going for Oxygen in the team formats, as LJ will stop this one. Chronic now got around him, and Toasty out and away.
Toasty had the double reset dunk, though.
Yeah, with 8 seconds left.
But it was a sick goal.
It was.
LJ's not the only one scoring.
Feels like it. No slits. You talk about the only guy scoring. The only guy scoring for AllMid is the guy waiting in the corner there. Chronic with a quick turn. He's put Toasty in an awkward spot. Oh, what a turn. And this is going to be well high and wide. LJ gave a look. He's got a full tank of boost that he can clear away.
Oh, he's got to protect this one. Didn't want to just throw the ball back to Chronic, who comes up now, forces him to commit. Toasty's got a clean read on the ball. Only Chronic to beat. What can he do with it? He's got the reset, and he got the shot! I thought it was going too fast, but Toasty pops right on time.
Now that's one from Toasty that really matters. How about this? Underneath Chronic, just a little extra pace, and with 1:36, Oxygen poised to take that all-important 2-1 series lead and have 2 shots at clinching a spot at the LAN. Flitz has other plans, and LJ stopped him at the corner.
Oh, man. I thought AllMid were about to tie it. Chronic getting to the next 50 quickly, trying to crash into Toasty. LJ coming up quick, pulls off, and he's rewarded with the ball. Now flips it up. He's got the boost. He's got the demo, and the goal! LJ puts him up by 2.
LJ, shoulders got to be hurting at this point. He's done it all. Take out Flitz, put it home. 1:16 to go. Add one to the tally. And could that be the goal that gives them a 2-1 series advantage? A lot of time on the clock, especially for this guy. He got bumped and still stayed with the play. Flitz around the boards, and LJ met him right at the top of the backboard.
LJ's got his rhythm on the pulse of Oxygen, or of AllMid, excuse me. And they have not been able to break through the line. There's another quick pass to Flitz, and a hard shot denied by Toasty. My goodness, he sent a comet. We're going after the ball, and he hit a planet.
And that's got to be heartbreaking for AllMid, because that's one of your best shots. It's turned aside. You're not going to get many more looks like that. You need 2 with 35 to go. Chronic with Flitz way out in mid, just opted for the shot himself. Flitz looking for the rebound, and it's coming over to him. Toasty brought it down in front. Chronic, quick turn, and he could not fake out LJ.
Oh, and couldn't get the wave landing either, so he's not going to be available, but he takes out LJ on the play. Now Flitz wants the 50. Does get the challenge up in front, but there needs to be a shot on target with time left. Chronic, one more chance around the corner. He's got a perfect dribble, drills it through LJ, and there's the big clear from Toasty, surely putting the game on match point. Oxygen, 1 away, Stacks.
1 away indeed. And now the choice does get to come from AllMid. There's no choice to make. You never want to go out of match point without sending your absolute best. And they've got to feel like it's as free a win as you can get against almost anybody not named Daniel. When you throw Chronic out there on the pitch in this format, at least in this bracket.
Why is LJ not playing once? I'm sorry, Stacks. I totally derailed you, but I'm just like watching all LJ's goals. I'm like, why aren't you playing once? Like
that is, I mean, well, that's a good question.
We're going with the
to
experience factor from Gimmick because Gimmick is just getting smacked, man. I don't think you really want Gimmick to feel like this.
Lost the last couple of games.
1v1.
Yeah. Well, he's lost the last couple of games by 5 and 4 goals, and you wonder, maybe you just go, all right.
I think you put LJ in.
It's just not working. You throw LJ out there.
You're up 2-1.
Even if it's not his forte.
You are not, like, literally, I am thinking this is just an auto loss for Oxygen.
Sure.
Like, Chronic is really good. I think that you have to get a mechanical player in there. And LJ is that guy. Is LJ the greatest ones player out there? Probably not, no, but you've got the series advantage, and I think you also got the advantage when it comes to 3v3. You basically get your pick. In fact, I would say again, Oxygen, learn your lesson from last time. Just pick 2v2 after this.
Yes, absolutely. Well, guess what? They have picked LJ. So LJ, with the game in hand, you might as well just have a go. The worst thing that happens is you lose. He scores 4 seconds in.
Look at that. Immediately rewarded for the decision. LJ drills through Chronic on the kickoff. He's got advantage, he's got the shot, he's got an easy goal.
So now Chronic, I mean, he gave up the early goal to Gimmick in the last 1v1, and then you saw how that panned out. Chronic answered right back with 5 unanswered goals. Got the stop there, does LJ. You quickly turn on this, he certainly can. All the possession until Chronic says no.
On LJ, well, he's very willing to pull back, and Chronic maybe trying to not mishandle that ball. But LJ very willing to come out quickly on those challenges, but also willing to give Chronic the space, at least for now. As Chronic got control of the boost. LJ's in a little bit of trouble here with only 30, but he stays back. He's not going to bite easily on Chronic, but he does get that midfield boost, puts LJ in a tough spot. He's got to dump and chase. Oh, he wins. That's going to be a goal. Oh, he ripped it right.
No, it's not. Not with this guy on the pitch. Against maybe anybody else. Maybe. Not this time. Chronic, just one little touch to disrupt LJ. He's got a full tank of boost. LJ's got to be wary of that. As here we go. LJ maybe got caught up there a little too long. He got back just in time, running down the dotted line to make the stop. Now Chronic, will he go to the backboard? No. He just went underneath. LJ should be commended for that save. That is not nearly as easy as he made it look. But then Chronic just put it home on the doorstep anyways.
Yeah, LJ was just trying to get around those small pads, be in the right spot, and you saw him as soon as he jumped for it, thinking that shot was going to come a little bit earlier. Chronic drops it down, and it forces the bad challenge out of LJ. That was just good work from Chronic, recognizing LJ's positioning, knowing how to get by him on that 50 in front, and utilizing those flip resets to the full advantage that you can. Chronic doing good work out here. But LJ, I think, has been a much closer matchup so far. I mean, at this point in the last game, it was already, what, 4-1 Chronic? And now it's still 1-1.
Score his 5th in a row.
Yeah.
Looking for his 10th goal of this lower bracket series to try and keep AllMid alive. Remember that Oxygen will have the choice if this does go to a 5th game. Chronic does score. There's his 10th, his 2nd of this game, his 9th in 1v1s. And with 3 minutes and some change left, Chronic holds all the cards, as he has so often in this tournament. Remember, he had his trial by fire up in the upper bracket when he had to go against SSG, and you know what that meant. That was Daniel. It was entertaining, if you're a fan of Daniel. As LJ taking one down the pitch. Chronic will dump it out to the corner. And LJ doing all he can to keep possession. And I'll tell you what, LJ is holding his own. He ties it up.
Nice move here from LJ against Chronic, who was starting to lose that boost battle. You see him come out, and he takes a really weak path behind LJ. He's got to cut into that play sooner if he wants a chance at it. When he's got 0 boost, you're not going to have any kind of speed to be able to cross the line. And LJ's going to have you easily beat. Well done by LJ. It was an easy carry for him. Chronic getting caught, losing that boost in the corner.
I misspoke, by the way. It was Flitz that played that 1v1 with Daniel. So there you go.
Well, they learned their lesson.
Boy, did they. LJ, pinch downfield, halfway mark. And a chance to take a 3-2 lead. He's just going to keep possession. All the boost in the world. Chronic still going to get to this. LJ, that touch had to be a little bit better. He's going after Chronic, didn't get him. But he does have him starved out here. Chronic, not finding nearly as much boost, just having to go left, right, and still Chronic stopped him. Are you kidding me?
Oh, did he actually get a touch on that? I was on LJ cam, and it looked like it just hit off of the corner of the post. Now he takes a quick shot. Chronic can't get there. That was excellent control of the ball by LJ. He went corner to corner, and there was nothing Chronic could do. Constantly getting his boost stolen, had to work on small pads, and he pulls himself out of the play for 1 second, feeling that desperation of no boost, and he gets punished for it finally. And going back to that really earlier touch, Stacks, I actually feel like LJ was trying to keep that ball close because Chronic was in net, and flinging that ball onto net would have given Chronic an easy clear and would have made life maybe a little difficult for LJ. He'd have to play defense right after. And instead, he went for control. Chronic gets a nice shot on the turnaround, and we're right back at it.
How about this from Chronic here? I mean, LJ's got boost. He's got plenty. It's just, you're at his mercy at that point. That's a great recognition by Chronic, realizing that LJ is going to run out of real estate pretty soon on that back wall. And he just had him beat. Now with 1:48. Oxygen's decision to go with LJ is paying dividends as he gets one immediately off the kickoff to erase the one Chronic just scored.
Again, another kickoff, just a neutral kickoff, and Chronic ends up flipping off of the ball. LJ landing with the direction of the ball. Another good kickoff, and that's been the main difference for me, Stacks. When you think about Chronic versus Gimmick, what was the one thing that was consistently losing Gimmick the battle? It was the kickoff. As soon as you lose that, Chronic puts it on target, and LJ makes an incredible stop. Low boost stop for LJ, keeping his team in the lead. Again, Oxygen win this, and they're moving forward.
And Chronic holding that flip as long as he can. It has worked in the past, but it's not working against LJ. Standing his ground. He's going to have to quickly recover, coming right down the middle, grabbing as many pads as he can. Now he's got the boost out of the corner, and Chronic made him pay for it. Jorby, I think LJ might have been better served just going up and challenging him, because by going for that corner boost, he gave up a lot of time, and then he ran out of time to make a challenge.
Yeah, coming wide like that, it's going to be hard to find the read. You think, okay, I can screen across the net with boost. I'll be able to get the momentum I want when I dive across, make the challenge happen. But instead, taking yourself off the line just makes it that much harder to get back into the play. He had 41 when he turned off the play. Tough to say where exactly that could have went better for LJ, but I agree with you, Stacks. Getting up, maybe trying to 50 that ball, or at least getting in front of Chronic on that. 41, definitely enough, while it's uncomfortable, to make that challenge happen against Chronic.
LJ has been very patient defensively. He's going all the way back to the box. Chronic's got him dead to rights as LJ just stopped, and I think he realized, I'll show you where it is, right about here, that he's got no shot.
Yep, LJ turns. As soon as he turns away from where Chronic's trying to shoot, it's like Chronic drops the ball, he can immediately see where LJ's turned and picks exact moment when he wants to strike. Now he's won the kickoff, a chance to go up by 2. He's got it. Chronic stealing the game from LJ with 39 seconds remaining.
I think even AJ might be watching this going, yeah, kid's good. 39 seconds left. 2 goals. Certainly well within LJ's range. Even 4 would be within LJ's range at this point. But the margin for error is shrinking quickly. Chronic. Oh, big win. LJ doing all he can just to not give possession freely, but he's just done it, and now he's got to pick up pennies and maybe that midfield boost. He did, but Chronic still launches over. One shot, if it's on, it's over. No. Still some life, but now he's just going to play keep away, and LJ's got to chase him down, somehow stay supersonic and not run out of boost. Chronic in an impossible spot for LJ to take over, and that demo will spell the end. Chronic puts one more home, and we will see a 5th game between Oxygen and AllMid.
It ended up just being too much for LJ. He got himself caught in some tough situations where Chronic, again, full boost control. So he puts LJ in awkward spots. LJ not wanting to leave the play easily. but it just leads to weak touches. Chronic has time to get back, refuel on the boost, and it was just too much for LJ to handle. He couldn't get that ball away from Chronic often enough, and it was tight for a while, but Chronic really took over in that last 40 seconds. AllMid have given themselves a shot now, Stacks.
They have.
1v1, they've gotten it twice from Chronic. Put them in this spot again as we head to game 5. And Oxygen,
So
I think it's 2v2. You gotta pick 2v2. You can't, the 3v3 was close. I actually think AllMid have a shot in the 2v2. But something tells me that like Toasty LJ is just a little too powerful. I think that duo links up so well. I think you gotta go to them reliably.
Guess what?
They're going
threes.
Yeah,
Oxygen has chosen threes. Now here's the question for AllMid. You have scored 15 goals in this series. Chronic has scored 15 goals in this series. He has to be out there.
Put him in.
With a 3v3, right?
It's like what we were saying about Razebull. What were we saying about Razebull earlier? Like, he's your hottest player right now. There's like this is the one tournament that you put in the sub for your starter. I think if there's any time to start Chronic in threes, it's now. That's it. He's playing the best right now. He was playing well in twos. He has won both of your 1v1 bouts. Is threes a completely different game mode? Yes, but you need that breakout player. Chronic is that breakout player. Are they going to do it? Kiri takes the pitch, Flitz takes the pitch, Angel takes the pitch. Chronic will not be in for the 3v3.
I'll just go ahead and say it. The best player in this matchup is not on the field. So here we go. The best player on the field now, I think by default, becomes LJ. Advantage, Oxygen. Game 5. LAN on the line. Loser is out, and they're going to have a lot of time to wonder what might have been. Kiri out of the corner. Popped one up in front. And Toasty's there just ahead of Flitz. He'll hit Gimmick. I tell you what, Gimmick would love to have something go his way to get his confidence going again after he found himself on the bench out of the 1v1 specialist role in favor of LJ, who nearly pulled it off. Gimmick circling in behind here as LJ gets him downfield. Toasty's next in line, but Kiri says no.
And Kiri trying to find a clear here. Oxygen, early pressure. Kiri trying to relieve it with the demo. Flitz trying to protect that ball with the air dribble out. It works out for AllMid. Now it's about contesting that midfield line. Angel's gonna get the first try at it. Teammate gets deleted. That's a good shot from Flitz, and they do force 2 up. So a good set here for AllMid. Angel setting that one across back over to Flitz. Gimmick can't get the touch. Angel got another free one. Coming in was Kiri, but it's taken away. Kiri still got it in front. Pass to Angel, taken away again. LJ dives in front. You like the creativity there from AllMid, but they get punished on the transition, and Gimmick gets the goal.
The smarter team defensively making that adjustment, realizing that that was never going to be a shot attempt. It's a drop-down pass. Everybody scrambled to start that counterattack. They reacted to it quicker than AllMid did collectively. Oxygen gets the early goal just after a minute gone by. And this could fall to Gimmick. He's got to challenge Angel. Not happening. Kiri to the backboard. Flitz, well, ambitiously up. But LJ had him beat the whole way, and that's a good win by Toasty to stop anything further at the center line until Angel comes in, who also gets another piece of Gimmick, and that shot did not yield any kind of rebound.
Good 50 there from Flitz. Anything you could do to stint the push out, but Toasty, barely beyond the neutral zone, was taken out. And again, this is kind of what we saw from AllMid in the last 3v3. Here's a good shot, but the Gimmick gets there to deny it. 3 Oxygen players in the net. Flitz didn't really have a lot of real estate to pick. And that's just been the story for AllMid in the 3v3.
Toasty, he's just playing decoy, waiting for someone to come up. He'll just take it himself anyways. And LJ intercepts Angel, so Flitz called back into action as he'll launch one away. Gimmick just a little bit high and then demolished for his efforts. I'm not quite sure how. Angel gets a demo there, but they will take it. Relieves just a little bit of pressure. Flitz now got to have one over towards Angel, who's got a full tank of boost at a very important clear.
They got to get control of the neutral zone. You know, punching the ball down is great, but every time an orange car sends it back the other way, it prevents you from being able to generate real pressure. That demo was a good start, but again, that follow-up, forcing Angel to have to make the play. Gimmick doesn't get the best touch, and now here's the chance for Flitz. Got the 50, taken away by LJ. AllMid, they get real close to knocking on the door, Stacks, but they can't quite get their fist on it. And Toasty gets another clear. LJ's 50 denied here by Flitz. Gimmick trying to send this one out. It's starting to look better and better for them in the neutral zone, but getting control of it consistently. Starting to happen for AllMid. Where the shots, though? They need to start finding those quality shots.
The silver lining here for AllMid, even though they haven't been able to score collectively against Oxygen in this series, these three on the pitch, that is, they've come very close. You go back to that first game, they had a couple opportunities that on another day they probably bury, and then it's a completely different game as Kiri scrambles across. Now Gimmick has LJ waiting. Angel trying to get a piece of LJ. Did not. That's loose in front. Gimmick couldn't turn on it in time, and Flitz will make the save with a full tank of boost and a minute 20. He's around Toasty. Can he get to LJ? No, and maybe Flitz got caught just a little indecisive there. Out of the corner, Flitz can still go for this. He's around Toasty, but LJ's got it all the way.
Oh, LJ froze Angel as soon as he saw him. Angel wanted to go. That's a good win, though, from Kiri. Got the pass back denied. Oxygen hopping in front of these routes very quickly, and it's making life difficult for AllMid to find the gap. And Flitz, he's been the guy that's been so dynamic moving down the field. Angel now got a quick pass to Kiri, denied. And again, it's Gimmick jumping in front of it. Well, while Gimmick might have got picked on in the 1v1 stacks, he has certainly been a force on defense. And LJ going the other way, 3 touches taken away by Flitz.
His defense has been superb, as has Oxygen's as a whole. Cutting out all of those passes as you called out. But there's Flitz, and I think this pinched off a defender on its way in.
Flitz loads the cannon up and fires right into the castle wall. Oxygen, hold as they may, just could not relieve the pressure. Flitz has been trying to go supersonic for the entire 5 minutes, and he finally gets a supersonic ball to go into the net.
30 seconds. Oxygen, it felt like they tried to win it 1-0. That has failed, so now they go to plan B, needing another. Kiri and Flitz are down there. That corner boost is not for LJ, but it doesn't matter. He'll take it himself. Got the flick, and Angel read him the whole way. It almost turned into a 1v1 without Chronic on the pitch, but Angel came through. Toasty to LJ, popped away by Flitz. Game 5 overtime. Somebody's got a heroic effort here. Kiri's over Toasty. Gimmick's way downfield. It's only LJ to make the save on Angel.
Oh, he kept it up. Flitz isn't done. Pass over to Kiri. Oh, drop down. Stacks, go, go, go.
Overtime, game 5. Here we go. Winner goes to Riyadh in the summer. Kiri against Gimmick. That's a good stop by Gimmick, but it went out to Flitz. Toasty's there. LJ can't stop it. Flitz wins it for AllMid.
Flying Flitz ends Oxygen's dreams. Oh, can you believe it? What an upset. Flitz absolutely popped off. And game 5 goes the distance, and Flitz, that was insane. Oh, I thought AllMid had the chances. I thought it was over, and then it went to OT, and I thought Oxygen, they were finally gonna take it, but oh my gosh, Flitz, that double was nasty. You wanna talk about a guy clutching up in game number 5. You know, we talk about Chronic, and like, yeah, why is he not on the pitch when he's the hot hand? Flitz is like, yo, wait guys, hang on. I got something to say about that. Did you see that? Because I heard, and I saw, and y'all gotta watch out for Flitz, because my goodness, what a clutch up.
I know y'all can't see this, but there's 15 goals here. And he's not on the pitch at the end. There you go. 15 goals. All these G's over here. And after all that, Chronic just gets to sit on the bench and watch him work. And the 3 squad pulls it off. How about Flitz? 2 goals from 6 shots, Jorby. That was an incredibly clutch performance for AllMid.
I mean, it was absolutely slam dunk. Chronic literally got AllMid 2 of those game wins. Absolutely, the 1v1 specialist coming in clean. That's the excitement of this format. I'm really curious what the desk thinks, because that was fun.
Oh my word, Gregan, Flitzy absolutely popping off, not to mention Chronic as well, going absolutely insane for his team. Talk to me a little bit about the performance that we just saw there, Gregan.
So we came into this and we said AllMid had that Chronic factor who could come in and almost guarantee the ones win. He did his job. He came in and he won both his ones game. He didn't quite pull off the twos game, and I thought, that's it. AllMid don't have that threes capability to come in and smash it out in that final game with Flitz, with Kiri and Angel. But they did it again. They did it against Xset earlier. They lost the first threes game, and then when they were back against the wall in the game 5 where the opponent chose threes, AllMid came out and they popped off in that final game, and it was Flitz's double tap at the end that pulled it off. That was an incredible performance from them.